Hello, everyone, and welcome to Give Me Some Good News, a little taste of happiness to start your week off right. I am your host, Caleb, here with my wonderful co host, Tyler Ford, and today we are joined by someone who I'm very excited to have on this podcast, Terry with Visit Crystal River. Terry, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what you do?
Sure. Terry Natwick with Discover Crystal River. We are about an hour north of Tampa, or the Visitors Bureau for our county, Citrus County, branded as Discover Crystal River, which includes Homosassa, Inverness, and Floral City. We are on the nature coast of Florida. So we are known as the Manatee Capital of the world. We have the most manatees in one area at any given time throughout the colder months here in Florida. And so that's what gives us the right to call us that. And we're also the only place where you can get in the water and have a personal experience with a manatee in their own environment.
That is awesome. That is such a sell to me. I first off, I apologize. I didn't know about that until this. And wow, that's pretty
That
insane.
is
And
why I do what I do.
I
It's my
love it.
purpose on earth.
Okay. All right. What was it like kind of like you were the manatee capital of the world, but how did you go about getting the title? Like, was there a process you had to do to get that stamp, make that
Absolutely.
official?
We went through the trademark office. It became our registered trademark. But
Okay.
what we did was internally, externally, is made sure that all of our captains are following the right rules. That when they take people out, it's an educational experience. It's not a disturbing experience for the manatees. Um, and then we've also 3 or 4, my gosh, it must be 5 years now, when storms Hermine and all these other storms came in and did this salt surge into our spring waters. It killed all of the eelgrass and it created this algae on the bottom, and it was really, really horrible. And that is, sorry, excuse me, I'm losing my headphones and my glasses. And that is really bad because the manatees, that's their main source. But it also filters the water. It provides, other feeding for other species of fish and birds. So we were really having sort of an environmental crisis because of that. So a group called Save Crystal River, which was started by residents here and partnered by us and a couple other organizations, got together and literally vacuumed the bottom of our area of Kings Bay and Crystal River and cleaned up all of that deadness and algae, and then replanted these seedlings throughout the bay, one section at a time. Ironically, another hurricane came, but it didn't bring a saltwater surge in, but it did help propagate all the seedlings. So the project just took off. And within the last 5 years, we're back up and flourishing as a food source for the manatees. So that provides them a place where they don't have to go out into the Gulf to eat, especially in the winter months. So if they come into our area to stay warm in the winter, which is what they have to do because the springs are always 72 to 74 degrees. They have to maintain a body temperature of 68 degrees. So that's why they come into our area. We also have the most springs heads. We pump $6 billion. That'd be nice. 6 billion gallons of 74-degree spring water every day in just our area. So that really provides a large refuge for them. But previously, without the food source, they would have to risk going out into the Gulf and feeding on the seagrass that's out there. And so now they don't have to get the risk of being struck by a boat because they're leaving and going out to the Gulf. They don't have to risk getting cold stress because they're going back out into the waters that are too cold for them. They have a food source right there. So all of these things combined really kind of gave us the arrogance to officially call ourselves the manatee capital of the world, which we
Yeah,
wear proudly.
as you should. And Tyler and I have talked about this on a few episodes, finding that hook or finding your niche and really using that to leverage your brand is huge because at the end of the day, destinations are made up of the assets they have, the ecology that they have, the location that they have. And that's what really, it's the sum of all its parts that make a true destination, right? For you guys, a big part of that is the manatee population, and the ability through not only elbow grease and Save Crystal River, but also through the natural ecology to attract these manatees to your destination, which I just think
Right.
is wonderful. One of the things that really stands out about Visit Crystal River that you and I have talked about for, the past few months as friends and colleagues, is this vision to really put a stamp on tour operators who are doing the right thing in Crystal River. Can you kind of speak to that program, where it stands now, and kind of what your vision looks like for it going down the road or down the river, I
Ab-
should say?
yeah, hey, I am so super proud of this program. It's called the Eco Compliant Partner Program. And what we've done is, as part of our strategic 5-year strategic plan, which we just had recently done by Berkeley Young, by the way, another great podcast guest might be.
Great man.
Um, yeah, yeah. But one of the things that became uncovered, of course, as with every destination right now, is sustainability. So that is one of the pillars of our 5-year plan. Well, I have been trying, along with some of our key um, tour operators, to try and develop this program that sort of is a real badge of honor, I think is what you said too, for them to wear proudly because they're doing it right. They're doing everything right, and all prongs are being covered. Um, so what we did was we sat down with some of these operators, we brainstormed, and we came up with some criteria that manatee tour operators in our destination must comply to if they want to be a part of this program. What's in it for them? They get fam trips, they're first come, first serve to any and all media and trade fam trips that we get. They're going to get additional promotional experiences on our socials. And then, fun fact, we're also offering them the opportunity to participate. We were approached by Zoo Tampa to be the presenting sponsor for the first annual inaugural Manatee Conservation Celebration.
Nice.
So we've invited all of those partners to have their own table there as well. And it's all part of the new Manatee Rehab section at Zoo Tampa. So they get the opportunity free of charge to come and represent their business there and talk about what we do in our area. So they get a badge for their boats. They get a sticker for their business door, window. And the most exciting part, and Caleb, you and I have worked on this, and sadly we will not see it through together, but
But you got a
but
great
that's
team to do
okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We are starting a microsite that will be called Discover Crystal River Cares. And really excited about that. Actually, we're having our first kickoff brainstorming meeting tomorrow,
Amazing.
and that site will highlight not only those partners, but the who, the what, the why, and how people can get involved otherwise when they visit.
That's amazing. And to those not privy to the conversation, so Terry and I, during my time at Paradise, we actually worked together on developing this idea. And it's interesting to me how many ideas come out of just like traveling to conferences and just listening. And I mean, it's a
Having a
really
beer.
having a beer. It's a really cool conversation. And I think what's cool about this and what I want to highlight is there was a phase, I would say, of what I observed, and this is just my observation of a lot of potential greenwashing that went on for a few years, around COVID. A lot of us realized, hey, we've got, overuse on trails, we've got overuse on waterways. And it was very reactive to what
Mhm.
the markets were doing. Like we were like, oh no, there's all this over tourism. It's a domestic, people aren't traveling long haul. So we're going to push out this greenwashing message to try to curb that and try to react to that. What I like about this program and what y'all are doing specifically is it's woven into who you are as a destination. So it's proactive, right? We have the manatees, we are working with tour operators who are sustainable and responsible, and we're promoting that as a part of our fabric and who we are as a destination. And I think that's very different than being, reactive to trail overuse. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that there shouldn't be a place for both. I think when we, as destination marketers and community stewards, when we see a problem, we should seek to solve that problem. but I think a lot of destinations should really take stock on what could be a potential issue down the road. And someone like a Berkeley or someone who comes in and does a strategic 5-year plan, how do you weave sustainability into that plan as opposed to reacting to issues that are arising from overuse? So, what I also found very interesting about this, Terry, was how it ties into the UN Sustainable 17 tourism development goals. And I think broadly, whenever people say sustainability, everyone kind of has their own take on that. Is it destination sustainability and sustainable tourism? Is it green? Is it, eco-friendly? But you guys just naturally kind of, again, through understanding who you are and understanding your brand and brand promise and your destination promise, you wove this into, a bigger thing. So, just kudos to you guys on really recognizing this ahead of time. I just think it's really important for destinations to listen to this and start thinking about what are those changes to be made now to make the destination more sustainable for future generations.
Yeah, and what's super exciting about this program is it really kickstarted something that had been on a political whiteboard and just thrown in the corner and gotten dusty, right?
Yep.
So this week, the city of Crystal River got together with the tour operators and people of influence, and now they are actively pursuing ways in which we can manage the number of boats and the number of people on our waterways as a result of this. So I am so super proud of our team and what we've come up with here and how we've instigated this renewed and important look on how we're treating our ecosystem, specifically on the waters of the west side of our county.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a question that we could unpack here is say you're a destination, you see something like this, you want to get started on how to weave this into your ethos and into your brand. What is like a way to just get started? Like, what's step number one?
Just get motivated,
Yeah.
find your motivation for it, and I think the why of why I started this is my passion for the manatees and the place that I call home. So find your why and pursue those other people in the industry around you that have that same why, that same passion. And that is what I did. I surrounded myself with those people, and we just decided that this is it. This is our time. We've got to do something now before it gets out of hand.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what you have to do, because if you're not passionate about something, you're not going to give it 100%. That's just always been. I had a boss many years ago in my younger days that said, if you don't have fire in your belly about something, it's going to burn out, you know,
Yeah.
and the ideas and the motivation will not be sustainable. So it's the fire in my belly. Those god dang cute manatees, I
They're
tell
so
you.
cute. Yeah, the little sea cows. That's interesting. Tyler and I had a guest on recently whose passion was sports tourism, and he's
Mm,
Randy Duteau at Visit Mooresville. He took over Visit Mooresville, and we asked him this question. We were like, is there a place for, people who run or work at CVBs to actually take what their passion is and kind of weave it into their brand in a meaningful way if they identify
hmm
that as something? And I think a lot of times we can get kind of lost in the day to day and just going through the motions and not really like take a step back. And I've talked about this a few times, but really kind of unpack like why we're doing what we're doing. And I think
hmm
being a mission driven DMO practitioner is a lot different than being someone who just clicks a button, someone who writes a check, someone who holds a meeting. You have to really get to the why of why you're doing the work you're doing. And I think that's what separates a good DMO practitioner from a great DMO practitioner. So kudos to y'all.
No, thanks. It's a team effort for sure. So I have a great team behind me and standing next to me. So we
Absolutely.
all have the same passion. So it's great.
Yeah, and one thing I think is really cool about this too is there's a new wave heading towards managing your entire destination rather than just focusing on marketing it. And
Yeah.
definitely with the tour operators and like this focus on really things that they they market to people, but it's not direct marketing, but it's just a way of growing your destination in a positive, just in the right way, the positive way, and like having a focus on improving it, especially for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Um,
And beyond, we hope, right? I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, definitely.
we've got
Yeah.
to pass it down the line, right? We got to get
Yep.
Caleb's new babies to take over for
That's
us.
right. Yeah, we gotta have
That's
Lila and
right.
JJ out there floating with the manatees.
Food with them. I do want to shift gears a little bit. So
Okay.
before this podcast, we were just talking a little, and we discussed the idea of a Crystal River podcast. I know you're not doing it yet, but I I love the I have it stuck in my head that every destination needs some sort of podcast to grow the visitors, like just the breadth of their trip while they're in there or while they're there, and I don't know, just get the message out in new and unique ways.
Yeah.
And I want us to pitch to your team because I know you said you have some really impressive people on your team. You've got some creative folks,
Boy,
and
do we.
a new guy there who's, or not too new now, but like let's come up with like a pitch and how we can get you guys to start a podcast because I would love to listen to it. I would love the Crystal River podcast.
I think it would be phenomenal. I mean, it would. I'm seeing podcast awards in our future. So
Me too.
Absolutely. Yeah, get Avis
I'd
on
love.
there and yeah, that'd be great.
Oh well, you just have to put Avis in front of a camera, and you've got
Yeah.
gold. So
Oh, he's having a
Yeah.
good time. Yeah. And I love that. And I think the other thing that this allows to with, Visit Crystal River Cares is a content engine that's not related to just selling the destination. It's
Hmm.
again, it's pushing who you are as an organization, who you are as a destination. And those are two
right.
very different things. So, um, how kind of moving in I do like the idea. So think of the podcast. By the way, we do not operate podcasts for DMO, so this is not a pitch. We
No,
literally just do this.
this is an
Just to
internal
clarify.
pitch.
This is a
Yeah.
turtle pitch. Y'all got to do that. But I guess I've seen the evolution of this, and I've had conversations with you and Avis. Like, what has the support been like from the top with Visit Crystal River Cares, and how does that kind of like flush into the rest of your team and kind of get everyone rallied and excited about it?
Just, I think right now, the involvement of our tour operators, we now have six, possibly seven by the end of this week, tour operators that are going to be involved and have qualified. It's brought a unity to the industry. The folks that are on the water every day, they had it before, but now it's sort of, they've got their badge, and
Yeah,
whether it's the badge of honor or the physical badge, they're looking out for each other on the water, and they always had, but now they're like, okay, I see this guy doing it right, and they go and tell them about the program if they haven't heard of it. So there's that. It's brought a sense of pride and a sense of community. So it's really sort of helped another one of our pillars for our strategic plan, which is advocacy, right?
yep,
Advocacy within the community, advocacy within by our partners and our stakeholders, and it's really brought some involvement from people who wouldn't have normally said, "Hey, tourism department, what can we do to help?" So that's kind of been it blows my mind. I had someone from Kissimmee reach out to me and ask to pick my brain about it. I mean, I'm like, it's just little old me and the 8-person staff of Discover Crystal River, and um, it's been amazing to see the trickle effects of this program.
yeah. There's
And
some
we just got
tangible.
started.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. Like with 6 or 7 operators, the microsite is being I mean, you're having the meeting this week as we're talking. I think it's funny too. You're talking about like the operators seeing each other on the water. I think of like the Jeep wave. Like, oh, hey, like we love the
Exactly.
manatees, you
Yeah.
know?
There'll be little
And
rubber manatees being passed out,
it's
left on
perfect,
boats all
man.
over the bay.
Yeah, it's perfect. And yeah, little rubber manatees, put them on the dash, you know? But, I was thinking about this. There is a piece of advocacy that I think a lot of DMO professionals can miss at times, and that is visibility. And I think
Mhm.
having programs like this, having something that is tangible, that's actually out in the community, is a great way to rally champions for your destination. When I was at Discover Jackson County, we had this program, Keep Jackson Clean and Green, and we would have like signs up at greenways and up at trailheads. We worked with the Forest Service to get them up. And it wasn't just like hey, this is greenwashing. Like I went out on company time on trail days and like went out and cleaned Panthertown Valley and I went out and picked up trash. And
Right.
I think advocating for your community is so much more than just what you say. It's about what you do and what you can show. And a lot of times having those tangible, even some DMOs, it's wayfindage signing or wayfinding signage. Wow, I flipped that one. The coffee hadn't hit yet, y'all. But I just think it's really interesting, like what those things are and how they differ for communities. For some communities, it could be an app. For some communities with access to trailhead issues, it could be a shuttle service that they have, and deferred parking payments for folks who take the shuttle. And I think, find what that is. If you're a DMO practitioner listening to this, you kind of brought up a good point on like just getting started, but figure out what that thing is for you because it's going to be different for everybody.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of times, like I said earlier, like we can miss what does the destination marketing portion matter if you don't have a destination, a clean destination in 10, 15, 20 years. And I do, like you brought up a good point, Terry. I know Tyler's got two girls. I've got the little ones. It's like we want our kids to be exploring these destinations
Yeah.
just like we are. And
Hmm.
it's an important element of this.
Yeah, and I'll add to that a little bit and say this program has become not just who we are, but and in a side effect has brought more awareness to the destination in an unintentional way, right? We didn't really want to. We did it out of what's it's the right thing to do,
Right.
and then it became, well, look at them. And then it became, well, I think I want to go there because of that. And I think I want to participate in this program because of that. And so it's really brought so many different elements of who tourism touches within and out of our county together in a new and exciting way. And I
Yeah.
think that's the way destinations really need to start thinking about it, right? Is they need to start considering, and I know some more advanced and those with more money have or whatever, but sustainability isn't just a word, and advocacy isn't just a word. It's action, and it's what you do with it, and it's how you manage it that really can make an incredible impact that you may not even be able to see in your time with the destination, but that's what I hope to come out of it.
Yeah. You can't have the word community without unity. So it's important to bring those partners together and to all have one vision rowing in the right direction.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I'm just on a roll today, y'all. We're recording this early. I got
you
coffee
should be in
going.
marketing. You
I
should
know,
really
right?
consider a career in
I
marketing.
I really should. I should be in
You said the
destination
coffee
marketing.
hadn't hit, but it seems like
I
you've
guess
had
it's flowing
a few
now.
extra ones. Yeah, it's flowing now.
It's
It
flowing
just is.
now. That's
Something's
it.
flowing.
Oh man. Yeah.
Wanted to add on to all that and just the importance of thinking outside of the box if you're a destination, and just not getting too, like you said earlier, not too hung up on the day to day and the, the specific marketing focus are definitely necessary, but the focus on, pushing this place in the right direction, and managing it.
Yeah,
So once again, on the destination management and just coming up with new ideas that are outside the box, different, that can just grow where you are. So
yeah.
I definitely want people to take that away from this conversation. Like, what are some ways that you can boost this place? Not just boost your numbers, but boost your actual destination.
Exactly. The change from
Grow
in
it.
the 8 years I've been with the destination, I mean, when I started with them, it was bed tax, bed tax, bed tax.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
all we thought about. How do we drive destination visitation, overnight stays? That's all it was.
Mhm.
And just to see that change and the pivot in the way we look at things now is what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Not only just from a marketing and destination promotion standpoint, but for our county, for our
Sure.
sustainability as a tourism department, and as a beautiful place on the nature coast of Florida.
Yeah.
Yep. And I predict that's going to be the direction, maybe not for every destination regarding nature as much, but just this new mindset of stop thinking as much about the bed tax and start focusing more on just boosting this entire your entire destination. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
like
I'll
it's like
do a
the
deep
Field of
dive.
Dreams movie, right? If you
Yes.
build it, they will
Yeah.
come, right?
Yep.
It'll
Exactly.
it'll it'll all trickle down to the bed tax eventually. So
Yeah, absolutely. And man, this has been great. I think, parting here, the message again, if you're look at your destination holistically, look at what those things are, look at how you can make your destination a better place, and truly find ways to do that, whether little, whether large, and just take a step in the right direction. Terry, we're so grateful to have you on today. We always like to kind of land the plane with a question. Terry, can you give me some good news?
Are you kidding? Where should I begin?
The queen of positivity right here.
Yeah, I can give you some great news. We are finding that, like I said earlier, this is a movement, right?
Ah,
This isn't just Discover Crystal River. It's part of something that I picked up energy from somewhere, and somebody's going to pick that up from me. But our destination is really moving forward, and the ball is rolling, and I'm so proud. And I can't wait for everybody listening to this podcast to come to Crystal River and see how that energy is being rolled out into the waterways.
ah, great. God, what a great way to end
Love it.
it. Terry, that's fantastic. If people want to find you or learn more about the work you're doing, or if they want to reach out to you and see how they can get something started like this and keep that ball rolling, where can they do that?
Absolutely. DiscoverCrystalRiverFL.com is our website, microsite to come. And
Okay.
then my email is terry.natwick at discovercrystalriverfl.com.
The Manatee Capital of planet Earth.
That's,
Love to
oh,
hear it.
Planet
Wow.
Earth. That's the
Planet
next
Earth. That's the
registered
next one. You
trading
got to
There it
go
place.
is.
get
I
that
love
registered.
that.
You got
Oh
to
my
get that
Okay.
gosh. All right, I'm
registered.
on it. I'm on
And
it.
now that we're going to be talking intergalactic, tourism one day, you might as well get that started now.
Yeah.
So
Get it now while you can. Yeah.
get it now while you can. Well, as always, for myself and Tyler, you can find us on LinkedIn. And if you want to be on the show, send us an email. It's good news, the number four tourism at gmail.com. And hot off the press, you can also follow along. We're going to be posting episodes to LinkedIn. So you can find us at Give Me Some Good News on LinkedIn. And y'all, this has been some good news.